Welcome! Today I'm gonna try and make something that I haven't done for a long time. A large and shallow platter. So like a very wide bowl, I think you call it a platter, to serve food. I do a lot of dinner parties and it just looks so beautiful to have these white platters. And the last ones I had, I sold. So I need to make some new ones. But it's been a long time, so wish me luck. To make a large platter, you do of course need a lot of clay. I'm using this gray stoneware I really like. I get it from a local supplier, so probably won't help you much to tell you what it's called. 1286 from a company called Cerama. I really like this clay. It's got a lot of grog in it, so it's very stable, and that's good for something that have to be as shallow as this, so it doesn't flop. It's easy. It is a little bit on the firm side, a little bit too dry for my taste. It's going to be harder to center, but it's going to be easier to shape and less likely to flop or collapse on me. So I'll try and go ahead. To make it as big as I want, I should probably have used more clay, but I'm trying out with 5 kilo to begin with. It's still a rather large chunk, but I think I can get away with that. I'm aiming for something at least 40 centimeter, preferably even more, but time will tell. As usual, I start out by tap centering the clay ball. That's an easy way to get it more or less centered. I mean, if you see now, of course, it's not perfectly centered, but it's still better than the way I slapped it down. And that's gonna make the hard work of centering it a lot less stressful. And also by clapping down, you secure the lump of clay better to your bed. So now I'm ready to throw. It is a little bit firm, but takes a bit more work on the centering, but I think I survive. We're almost there. So I almost got it centered now, but for this platter, I need it to be with a much wider base. So I'm using the palm of my hand and I'm supporting the side. Now the question is how wide I want to make the base. I think I want to make it a little wider than this. Yeah, this part is the hard work. And because it is a little bit on the firm side, I need to add more water than usual. And I want to make sure all the time that I still keep it circular. So I don't want it to get out of shape at this early stage. Still got a way to go. I don't want it to be too thick. I do want to trim a foot, but as I said, I do want to trim a foot, but I don't want like 2 inches of foot or button. Okay. It's always difficult with big lumps of clay to see the thickness of your button. And I think this is actually good now. It's about 1.5 centimeters, so I don't want it any thinner than that. I have a lot of different ribs, but I keep coming back to this. It's a mud tools, and the shape is really good. And the green ones are like semi-firm, so you can still shape it around. And it's just this shape works so well with the bowls. So I like this a lot. So this way I can also get rid of a little bit of the slip. Oh, it's beginning to look good. Oh, there goes my sponge. So, I think this base is okay. I don't know if it should have been a little bit wider, but I think it's gonna be okay. So now I'm ready to do my first pulls, and I'm gonna pull it more straight up and then lay it out, because to pull it out vertically, it's horizontally, it's a little bit risky, I think. Still want to see if I can get a little more of the clay from the bottom. Yeah, it's not too bad. I still want to keep some clay up here because I'm going to lay it out quite a lot, and if there's not enough clay at the rim, it's going to be too thin. Remember, when you increase the diameter, of course the clay is going to stretch out and become much thinner. Oh. And now I'm just checking to see if the wall have an even thickness. And I think it looks okay, or feels okay. Because it's really difficult to see this, but at least it should feel good. Before I move on, I just want to take the worst throwing lines and just even out the inside a little bit more. So I think it looks and feels good. As I mentioned before, it's really difficult to see if you have a even curve, but use your fingers, use your hand. It's often the best tool. So now I'm going to lay it out a bit more here. It's a little bit dry. Slowly getting there. And again, I'm going to use the rib to just even out the inside shape. So now we're getting to that stage where it becomes sort of dangerous. And there are two things that usually goes wrong or can go wrong. One thing is that I get a bump here because it's really firm here and up here it's softer, and it always creates this, what some people refer to, not in a nice way, a amateur shoulder. I'm trying not to get that. But if you do, and it's very common, I even get it sometimes, just a little bit, you can trim it away. And I know I said this a million times, and some potters will hold on to the belief that you cannot trim the inside of a bowl, or you shouldn't trim the inside of a bowl. I don't care, because you can, and it works. And it will make wonders if you have this little bit of a beginner's shoulder. I do, not that much, but enough for me to want to smooth it out in the trimming stage. And I'm just making sure that the rest of the pot is smooth and even all the way up to the top. So, I think it's beginning to look good. And also I can feel now that right here is beginning to get weaker. So I am afraid to do much more now, unless I heat it up. Because if you use a heat gun, or a blowgun, a gas gun, you can firm it up a little more, even though this was firm to begin with. You may need to firm it up a little more, and then you can push it further. So let me just grab my heat gun and just blow it away a little bit. I sometimes do a little bit of shaping because I do have a little bit of a shoulder, but right above it is actually the problem because it's dropping a little bit there. So at the same time that I'm heating it up, I'm just using a flat finger underneath it and just pushing up the side a little bit. This actually helped a lot. I mean, it was a very little beginner shoulder, but still, I like the inside to be completely smooth. And now it is. Okay, so now it's actually a lot more firm, and I can do the final shaping, and And what I want to do is I want to lay it out just a little bit more. And that is sort of tricky. But I'm going to use a rib both on the inside and the outside. And this is something that I'm not very good with, but it's a good thing to practice because you can do things this way that would not be possible just with your hands. It's a tricky thing to control two ribs, I think. And I'm definitely not an expert in this part, but it's slowly getting better. And as always, push and release very slowly. If you do it quickly, then you're gonna create wobble. So I finished it, and it is exactly 40 centimeter. So I would have liked it to be a little bit wider, but I think it's still a decent platter for my family of 3. We eat a lot. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this chamois, a piece of leather. I buy it in a car shop. I use it to, I don't know, clean cars, something. Anyway, they have it very cheap in car shops, at least here in Denmark. And I use it to just smoothen out the edge of the rim. So it looks really delicious. And that's it. That's how I made a platter. It may not be perfect, but it's good enough for me. And it's always fun to make these white forms, but the risk is it collapses. If you don't have enough grog, if it's not as stable as enough, if it's too soft, or if you don't dry it on the way, like I did. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to let it spin very slowly. Make sure you put the paddle away so you don't walk into the studio and hit on it and then you destroy the pot. So I'm just going to let it spin very slowly because that way it's going to dry evenly around. I'm going to just let it sit here for a few hours, cook some dinner and maybe get back tonight or in the morning. And then I will just, I will actually trim the inside when it's still soft leather hard to just make sure that it's completely smooth. And then I will release it from the bed and turn it around. I have a huge 55 centimeter bed, and then I will trim the bottom and the foot and the outside to make it exactly like I want. So that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please subscribe, share, write a comment. And next Sunday, I'm gonna have another video at 5 p.m. Central European time, usually, unless I'm away on vacation or I have some technical difficulty, I'm just lazy. So I hope to see you and enjoy the summer. It is finally summer here in Denmark, and I'm truly enjoying that. So hope to see you soon.